I'm live. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, I got caught off guard, guys. I'm not the one who typically hits the live button, but we're here. We're on New Comic Book Day. Why? So I hear myself in the like a delay. That's weird. All right. I think I got it figured out. But anyway, guys, welcome to the show. Aaron will be joining us shortly. PSG. Oh, I know I'm hearing myself. All right. Because I have Aaron's stream up as well. All right, cool. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Alberto? Alberto Suave in the house. All right, we're here and we're ready to rock. It's new comic book day. Why? All right. And this is the last one that Aaron will be simulcasting with us. Doesn't mean it's the last show he's going to be on, but this is the last time that Aaron will be in the director's chair, even though right now I'm running the show. I'm running the show. So we're going to get Aaron in here in a few minutes. Shouldn't take long. Before we do that, though, I do have my new comics from the week. It's a very short haul, but I did open up on Monday Night Raw Books. I did open up some, it was a 7 for 10 Wally World pack, right? 7 comics, $10. So I'm going to share with you the books I pulled out of that right now. Let's go. All right, so here we go. We got Iron Man 3. This is Infinity. This is actually the Infinity Saga. This is Iron Man 3, like movie poster cover, inspired cover, right? This is Infinity Saga Phase 2, variant edition 1 of 6. But also issue number 18. So this is like a Marvel Studios cover, right? See down here, it says Infinity Saga, Marvel Studios. But I just thought it was pretty dope Iron Man cover from Iron Man 3. If you watched Iron Man 3, it was okay. But it was good actually. But they have all these different Iron Man suits on there. So that's cool. All right. Next up was Mary Jane and Black Cat #1. This was a mini before they got their next mini series. I believe this is Humberto Ramos on the art. So you got little MJ and Black Cat. If you saw the Adam Hughes cover that came out, variant cover for Mary Jane and Black Cat, that was pretty cool, pretty awesome. This, I believe, was the B cover on this. This was the mini. Now they have another mini, or I guess a short ongoing series. All right, next up, if you're a Shang-Chi fan, maybe this is for you. I believe this is Francis Laniel Yu. Let me just check that out real quick. I think so. I'm going to credit Francis Laniel Yu with this cover, and then might be wrong, I might not. But this is Shang-Chi #12, all right? And I believe that this is the Walmart variant, because on the back cover, Walmart variants usually look like that. So there you go. And what else do we got? Let's see, we're 3 books in so far. We got the New Mutants. I think this is another Francis Laniel Yu. So maybe we got like a little running theme here. Yeah, Laniel, Francis Yu. It is the Walmart. Yes, thank you, Alberto. See, regular comics usually have an ad on the back or something. The Walmarts tend to just be gray and have the title of the book. This is New Mutants #25, another Laniel Francis Yu cover. This is the A cover. So I kind of like, and also at the same time dislike, the New Mutant art. it's kind of reminiscent of when Bill Sienkiewicz was doing it, but at the same time, it's missing. I don't know. I don't want to say it's bad. It's just missing something. Like something just feels out of place, and maybe it's just the fact that it's not Sienkiewicz. But I think the art in here is pretty cool, and the actual artist is Rod Race. So there you go. Hey, Aaron showed up.
What's up, man?
What's up? Just showing some of my Walmart pack openings.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I'll go small here. How's that?
How we doing today? Feeling good?
Just busy, buddy, and really appreciate you. Appreciate these Wednesdays we had a chance to do. You know, the new comic book day. Why? Right?
Yeah, it was
Pretty
good
cool stuff.
And yeah, we're still gonna do it. It's just I'm gonna take over. You're gonna give yourself a little vacay, if you will, a little time to do stuff.
Yeah.
And you'll be on the show when you can.
Yeah.
And, I think for the most part, for now, we're gonna keep the same title because I like showing everybody the new books and saying, hey,
right.
You know, new books have value too. They have feelings.
Yeah, they're important too. You know.
But yeah, especially if you're trying to find new stories and where the characters are going, right?
Yeah.
But so do and the same thing with the bronze and the silver and the golden age stuff too. Those all have stories to tell, and if you can read them, if you haven't read those stories, it's probably worth reading them. And you know, all the books I think kind of have value, but if you're looking for new stories and where the characters are progressing to, you read the modern stuff. And if you enjoy the old stuff and how we came to love these characters, that's why you read the older stuff, right?
Yeah, totally.
And then sometimes the older stuff just has kick-ass covers and art.
Yeah. You know, I'm just focusing on stuff I've never read before that I've always wanted to read and collect.
Right.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. Know? And I mean, there's always like the indie stuff that you know didn't have access to back then that now you can find in bins and stuff. And it is cool to explore.
And this is the last simultaneous stream, people. You know,
it is.
I'm not paying $45 a month.
Dude, it's crazy, right? They like doubled the price, right?
Yeah, so essentially.
It's crazy how they did that. Not so much as an email saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna." It's just
unless I missed that email, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Alberto Suave?
But it's like, yeah, you open the you open your app and you find out later that we're raising the price.
Well, Alberto, do you go to your LCS or do you order online your new comics? I was ordering online just because it was cheaper. I did that for years.
Yeah, some online. If you order enough from some online sites, it's definitely cheaper as long as the shipping makes it worth it. Right.
Yeah.
This is this Wolverine patch. Larry Hama jumped back on for this one. So
cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and those were the Walmart packs. I have the new comics. I don't have a lot, honestly. This was a very, very short week for me. There wasn't a lot out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if you have anything you want to show, or I can go right into the new books. It's not going to take very long.
Yeah, either way, you guys. Either way, whatever you want to do. You want to go to the new ones? He orders online. So
orders online. Okay. Nearest LCS is 5 hours. Oh, yeah. So
Kenneth Bird saying hi to everyone who is here from Virginia. What up, Kenneth Bird?
What is up, Birdman? From Virginia. 5 hours away. I mean, I've been lucky enough where I've grown up where I haven't had a LCS too far away. I mean, when I was a kid, there was a comic book store on my dad's way to work.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, sometimes he'd take me and then I'd go to work with him. And then as I got older, there were definitely places. In college, there really wasn't something that was super close until I got a car. But those were the years that I really didn't collect as much. I will say that I did. Even when I wasn't collecting. Oh, look at the hair.
It's called Bad Hair Day. It's like backwards. You can't fix your hair on YouTube because it's the opposite.
You just it's like more messy, right? You're like, I need to knock it that way, and and so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so and then I did buy some comics online, especially when eBay came out. I wasn't an avid collector at the time, but I would get some stuff that I thought was cool. I'd go on and see what auctions were going, and I'd get like Ultimate Spider-Man 2099 for like 99 cents and stuff. Like eBay back in the day was like when it first came, I won't say when it first came out, but when I first got on it, there were some deals to be had. I remember buying a sword on eBay for like $1. Like I bought a sword, like an actual like somebody pounded this thing into shape, and I think it was $1 for the sword and then $11 for shipping.
Wow. So, very, very cool, man.
But
my hometown doesn't have an LCS either, so I do my online shopping. I drive about 40 minutes. First one I could show here. You want me to start showing some stuff?
Yeah, do it.
I got this from Easy Comic Reader.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really like the new. I have a lot of Teen Titans. I really liked when George Perez was on it and the cover.
Yeah, man, putting this stuff together.
Just a ton of covers.
And I really appreciate Easy Comic Reader because look what we got.
Ooh, little George Perez Sig.
Yeah, and Marv Wolfman,
yeah.
So yeah, you gotta love that. The Final Conflict. And this is in high grade too, so
yeah, the pages.
I love it.
Pretty crisp. I met Marv Wolfman a couple years ago at New York Comic Con, and he was a nice guy, very nice, very happy. I think he was just very happy to be there. It was right around the time that I think the Teen Titans show was coming out on HBO Max, when it was HBO Max.
Do you have a favorite Teen Titan?
That is a very good question. It's probably Robin, but then I do like Raven as well. So.
Not Starfire?
Starfire's cool. I mean, she's a very cool character. I used to watch the Teen Titans Go on TV. I think it was on Cartoon Network or whatever. That was fun. That was a fun show. I like the comedy of Beast Boy. He's a very, very comedic character. Up until they decided to like kill him in the last the Beast World stuff, but he always brought the lightheartedness to the Titans until recently.
I could probably run out and get that, evaluated, right? Now this one is from 1969. And it's an old Batman, dude.
Ooh, 12 center. Right in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
Batman as a tiger.
209.
Wow. Batman.
Who's making these tigers tracks?
Look behind you, Robin.
But the cover's loose on it,
Mm-hmm. What really surprises me is when somebody has a comic like that that's like near mint, right? That's the shocking part. When if you tell me you have a loose cover, it's got some tanning or something, I'm like, yeah, it's how old it's so old.
Yeah, dude.
But when somebody has like a pristine copy of something, I'm just like, wow. Like, I want to know the history. Like, did it just somebody put it in a box and forget about it, or
people do the long time collecting. Where I spent the last 20 years just buying like modern comics when I should have just went after stuff I always wanted to try.
Right. What's weird about the market is, right, 10 years ago, if you wanted to buy a book, probably $100, like a Hulk 181 or something, right? Probably $100. And you're like, oh, that's so expensive.
Oh, I would have bought that all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they went $3,000 for the book, and it's like, whoa.
So 1980, we've got DC Comics presents 23. We got Superman and Dr. Fate. Might be a Joe Stanton cover. Pretty dang cool.
Dr. Fate's been he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I just know when the helmet shows up, something's going on.
Denny O'Neil does the writing on it.
Yeah.
And you just gotta love this stuff, man. You can get this stuff. So when I do my claim sales, man, I pick and choose my battles. I try to focus on this early, the 80s and the 70s, and if I get out super cheap, then I try to let them go on this claim sales. But I try to do that with my doubles. You know what I mean? But sometimes I think to myself, man, maybe I should do more. Here's one that's interesting. This is a really cool. What year we got here? 1976. We've got DC Superstars of Space.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
That's a fun book.
We got floating heads and everything.
I think I have a similar book like that, but it's not space. It's like Western or something like that. DC Superstars of the West or something. I don't know, something like that. I feel like they did a couple of different variations of that book. Where it's like in space, or it could have been like the Three Musketeers, some variations of
Adam Strange co-starring the Hawkman.
Yeah, Adam Strange was a character on Krypton, or
so this is like reprinting a bunch of stuff, I think.
Right. Pretty cool. Adam Strange is a cool character. Anybody out there got a like Alberto? You got a favorite DC like C-lister?
Let's go with an older, 1979 Marvel Comics, The Defenders.
The Defenders. Who doesn't love The Defenders?
78. I love this cast right here.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, that's
the return of.
That's like an A-list cast.
Yeah, we got the original guys back and plus the new guys. Herb Trimpe on the art, Ed Hannigan writing, which I don't really dig him so much on the writing on the Defenders so much, but I do like his art.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on his art with a Spectacular Spider-Man and all that, but this is Herb Trimpe art, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. So it's great you could get the Defenders on the cheap, man, I mean, this is definitely, I think it's still collectible. I think people are still collecting it because you can get it so affordable,
Right. No, you can. I mean, there's only a few Defender issues that are like, worth a couple of bucks. The first one, obviously, and then there's a couple towards the end. There are a lot of like first appearances in Defenders, but they're all like B-listers, C-list characters.
This one I read. This is a copy. I got to check and see, but it's J.M. DeMatteis's first. I think it might be one of his first Marvel works, but it's definitely his first Defenders. And what happens in this awesome issue is that Eternity splinters off into other mortal like coils, like mortal beings, Okay. And just to experience what it's like to be mortal. But what Eternity did was he put like a time limit on it, and he made his mortal coils not remember that they're a part of eternity, And so it's really strange, but they started waking up and they wanted to keep their lives, the way and so because the being is eternity, reality started blinking in and out of existence and stuff. So this is definitely an awesome issue, and the Defenders are going to stop it, So, yeah, man, you got to love your J.M. DeMatteis, dude. He very character driven stories, I would say the same thing about Bill Mantlo.
Got some Hellcat in there.
Oh yeah, dude. Hellcat.
That's evil.
Later, she gets tricked into believing she's truly the daughter of Satan.
That's right.
Marvel does have a Satan. It's not Mephisto.
Yeah.
Did
They
you
really
watch?
do hit on all the stuff, right? All the gods and mythologies and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so convoluted. I mean, I just read a Doom 2099 in which there are actually 3 eyes of Agamotto. There's not just one, there's 3, you know? So this one I probably don't have. It's 1981, and it's the New Teen Titans, number 6.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So I only have like the first one. I might have number 2, and then it jumps up to 7. So this I didn't have in my. And I'm one of those weird guys. I know a lot of these older comics you could pick it up and read and just go with it, you know. But I like to start from the beginning.
Nice.
You know?
The television show had Trigon as a villain. I think it was the 3rd season. The Teen
Cool.
Titans. So they brought him along.
Yeah, Trigon. Yeah.
I was gonna say by the 3rd season, they got a little budget. They can do some special effects, and you can do Trigon.
Yeah, Trigon is awesome. Always vexing his daughter Raven.
Yeah.
There's so much good stories at this time. I read the origin story of Raven, so I learned a lot about Trigon. And look at that. Who doesn't like Starfire? I mean, come on. Pretty cool. Donna Troy, right? I like her too. But yeah, dude. What, you gonna show some new stuff or what? What's going on here?
Yeah, let's show some new stuff.
Okay.
Let's give the people what they want.
Random Rips, what's up? Yeah, dude. Love J.M. DeMatteis works. Yeah, he's done so much. And what a great guy too. There's interviews out with him out there, and he's so down to earth. And he's still cranking out good work, That remember Moonshadow from Epic Comics, I think. That's good, man. I want to read Moonshadow for real. But yeah, Random Rips, saw that you were on Matthew's show too. That's very cool, brother. Oh yeah, dude. I'm putting it together. It's one of those things I never read before. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I read here and there, but I never read. I never read Crisis on Infinite Earths until like maybe 8 months ago, and I was floored by the Perez art in the writing, and I'm like, why have I not read this new Teen Titans? It's just ridiculous.
Wasn't that like DC's answer to what is it, Secret Wars? I feel like that was their Crisis
on Infinite Earths. I don't remember what came first, but I know that they wanted to combine. They wanted to get rid of their Earth 1 and 2. They wanted to combine them. They wanted to make it less convoluted.
Right.
I'm interested in the DC universe from the 70s when they started leveling up and they started getting more suspenseful to pre-Crisis. I think the covers and the art and all that is pretty dang cool. They were the best thing going at the time. The Return of the Teen Titans happened right around the time of New Mutants. That's great.
Which is also a really good series. What's the Teen Titans? Not Teen Titans. Sorry, the New Mutants with Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah. That was later. That was a few years into it. Sienkiewicz was doing his abstract stuff. Really cool. Really cool.
All right, let's show off. So this was a freebie. And if you're a wrestling fan, this is DC's AEW Origins. So AEW is a wrestling organization out there, and they did a origin comic. So, I guess they took some of their bigger stars and they put their origin stories in here.
Nice.
Yeah, in each one it's only like a few pages long, but if you're a wrestling fan or an AEW fan, this is You might be able to order it online, but definitely free if you have an LCS. This comic should be in the freebie pile. So that I picked that up.
So wrestling and comics go hand in hand, don't they? They
kind of, yeah.
They work together.
I think so, yeah. Random Claremont and Sienkiewicz. Yeah, that's right. New Mutants was Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz. If you haven't been keeping up, Chip Zdarsky's in the shops has been putting out these like
oh yeah, that's right. I remember you talking about
Zdarsky Comic News. This was September's. Wasn't sure if I picked up September or not, but I grabbed it. But James Tynan's on the 4th is on the cover of that one, but he put out a new one this week. And it is a little bit thicker. It's got one extra page.
It's a thickie.
Yeah, they started getting, I guess, advertising. So they got Power Rangers Prime from Boom in there, and they put DC actually put an ad in here for Absolute Superman.
You've read some of that Absolute, right?
I did. Absolute Batman was great. I have not gotten to Absolute Wonder Woman yet. It's sold out in the store, so I called a LCS that's close to me, but it's not my usual LCS, and I got a copy from them. I didn't think it was going to sell out so quickly, but then again, Batman did. But Batman didn't sell out. Absolute Batman did not sell out day one, but I think the hype and the FOMO over that one led to Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the same thing happened recently with the Ultimates with Marvel, right?
Right, because they did the Ultimate Universe comic or whatever. It didn't sell out, but there was a lot of hype behind that. And then Ultimate Spider-Man came out, and then any Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Black Panther, anything after that just kind of sold. And that original Ultimate book that introduced the Ultimate Universe ended up selling out quickly too.
Yeah.
Whatever was left on the shelves. What's cool about the Zdarsky newsletter is it's a little tongue-in-cheek. It plays stuff. Yeah, like pest control, why we need to start killing robins again. Eve of Instruction, the next generation of X-Men get a crash course from award-winning writer.
I like Chip.
Yeah.
I like him.
He's funny. Is Batman too powerful? Like, could he make my parents get back together?
There's questions you never hear, actually.
Right. So there's some fun fun stuff in here, and then some real stuff. Like he has an interview with Eve Ewing, who's doing the X-Men, the exceptional X-Men book.
So far, your favorite's the Uncanny, right? Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah, so that one's that one's fun. Then there's Comics Chatter, which is like industry stuff. Like, looks like Transformers and G.I. Joe are having a baby. That's right. Little Joe Former will be born in Void Rivals number 20. So they, they take like little rumors and make like little jokes out of them.
Yeah.
So, that's always fun. And then they do like little history things, like Wolverine, who created him, and then they list like all the, Herb Trimpe we just talked about, Len Wein, John Romita, Roy Thomas, Chris Claremont, Walt Disney, Rob Liefeld, and Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
Give you like a little idea of who did what.
I wonder.
They used to be.
Are these popular? This magazine, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free. Wow.
Yeah, this is another freebie. So, if you can find it, grab it. And Chip is Canadian, so right here on the barcode it says printed in Canada. So. He's cool. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's all right. I like him. I like his writing style too. Enjoyed a lot of his work. I've just stopped reading modern comics. They kept rebooting Moon Knight they kept rebooting it. So.
Oh yeah, there's currently 2 different Moon Knight series happening right now. It's the Phases of Moon Knight, and then there's the Return of Moon Knight. The Return of Moon Knight is back to the original Moon Knight. The Phases of is kind of like a Spider-Verse book where they introduce there's like a couple of different stories, so it's like an anthology book, and they introduce different Moon Knights. Like this week it was a manga inspired Moon Knight, was in the book, and then there were a couple of other Moon Knights.
Yeah. I don't know what. All I had to do is just keep it going because it's strong series, but I'm out. You killed him off. You brought him back 6 months later,
Right.
There's a big deal. He's running out of lives.
And then
you don't need the gimmicks, but maybe they want to use the gimmicks because they know it's a strong series.
Right.
The worst thing they could do though is renumber. These constant renumbering. It's just.
Yeah, it's rough, and I could see if they were changing the writer, but it's been Jed McKay for most of it, right? So
yeah,
they can just continue it and keep the numbering going, legacy numbering going like the old days, but they always have to reboot something.
Yeah. Well, the Moon Knight was successful enough. Like, Random Rips is saying here, they don't need multiple series coming out on Moon Knight. Just because you have a good creative team, just leave them alone and let them do their thing. And word of mouth comes, before you know it, they're selling books. But no, you got to keep rebooting it. They did the same thing to Chip on Daredevil. There was no reason to reboot it. Same creative team, different fill-in artists once in a while, but
right. Why the reboots every time? I don't know.
And I gave up on Spidey a long time ago, Random. And I read the first 20 years of Spidey. So
yeah, speaking of Spidey, as you said that it was in my hand. We didn't plan that, guys, but that was a good segue. This is ASM number 60. This is Zeb Wells' farewell to the book. I know a lot of people are like, good riddance. See you later.
It was up and down, right?
It was up and down. I will say that between Zeb and Nick Spencer and the other guys, this one was probably one of the better for me. Anyway, it got better. It wasn't always the best. A lot of it got stuck with trying to make like Tombstone an A-lister. Like they did it. They didn't make Tombstone an A-lister, but they made Tombstone relevant.
Yeah, his ideas were good, but also it's too nostalgic. We want new stuff for Spidey. We kind of want this whole Mephisto thing to be settled.
Right.
It's way back there, never got really settled. They touch on it, and then they don't know what to do with it.
No, I love Dan Slott and Straczynski, says Random. I did like Dan Slott. Slott got a lot of flack for making Peter, not, bringing him above, I guess what people would consider his station. Like, yeah, he was a loser, and then Dan Slott made him like a multi-millionaire science tech, billionaire tech company owner, like another Tony Stark.
I liked Ox Spidey.
Yeah.
I
like Superior Spidey was good.
Yeah.
That was a really good 2 years of Spidey.
Dan Slott is great because he knows and understands the Spidey world, but then sometimes he's bubblegum, and I just don't like it. It doesn't. Straczynski, his very first arc was freaking great, and then 9/11 happened, and then it was like just slow, decompressed stories with Kodak moments and stuff. Kodak camera moments, and it was good, but I did not like Sins Past. I thought that was horrible, actually. Like, leave Gwen and don't get all dirty with Norman and that was terrible. And then, of course, what else I hate? If I hated that, I hated something else even worse.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I loved Random Rips. I loved Slott, and I get what you're saying about the bubblegum and stuff, but I really thought he had a good niche of telling this, and he was on the Spider-Man book. I think he was on the Spider-Man book for the longest. I mean, eventually, right? Like Chris Claremont with the X-Men, you start repeating yourself, and your material gets a little stale. But then Dan Slott, I think, moved on to like Silver Surfer, and he was really good on that book.
Well, Random Rips, I think Quesada's side was, hey, we're bringing in Brand New Day, and I need you to segue into this. And then JMS said he would do it, and then JMS didn't do it. so that's what happened. So it's both of their faults in a way, because the editors were too loose anyway with the writers to begin with. But yeah, so he had a like a month or something to put that One More Day together, and it was terrible. Terrible. And it hasn't been right ever since. And I have this theory I already told Will that I blame Alan Moore. Because he branded he put a curse on, this is just total speculation, conspiracy shit, but he put a curse on he's the one that called the Marvel Universe 616, and then of course Spidey ends up doing pretty much the devil deal, even though Mephisto is not truly the devil or Satan of Marvel Universe, but it's pretty fucking weird. But this is old news, isn't it, you guys? Old news,
Yeah. But yeah, this is the goodbye of Zeb Wells. Even says it there. They have a really good creative team, though. They got Zeb Wells, Ed McGuinness, Patrick Gleason, so some really great artists. Todd Knock, Paulo Rivera in here. Joe Kelly down here says plus Joe Kelly. He is taking over the book, and Mark Buckingham. And
the first one's a new costume, right? Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's got some new costume going on.
I wonder if he'll have the eye of Agamotto.
One of the three.
No. There's three of them. Come to find out in the Doom 2099. There's other people who are more read than I am on Marvel lore, but there's three eyes.
Here's some of this JR artwork.
Yeah, and that's too bad because they have such a strong character. The source material for Spidey, the first 20 to 25 years, is so strong. With Peter's motivations and all that, it's just too bad they don't know what to do with him now. But it doesn't matter because he's Spider-Man. So
this is some decent JR work. I think when it's darker, it plays a little better when it's in the shadows.
I'm not a Ramita Jr. hater. It's just sometimes he phones it in really bad.
Right. And you can tell.
Yeah.
But I think working on Spider-Man kind of caused him to, step up his game.
That's his love, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it runs in the family, right? His dad was
and he did Spidey for years and years and years. And even when he started doing his own style with the Peter Parker Spider-Man later on after the McFarlane, I liked the art. I just didn't like Howard Mackey as a writer,
Right.
Yeah, it's a cool splash page.
Yeah. Now this is Ed McGuinness on this splash page.
Cool.
But we did have the Rec Rap character come out of Zeb Wells' run, right? So there's Rec Rap.
What up, Danielle? Thanks for being here, man. Hope you're doing good. It was good seeing you on Matthew's show yesterday. This is my last show that I'm doing on Wednesday with Will, but I'll show up as his guest soon.
Soon.
In the weeks. Yeah.
We gotta pound out the contract first.
But Will's taking over the show.
So this is Todd Knock on here.
Oh yeah.
So Knock is famous for like these headshots. So that's his deal.
Later 90s artist, right?
Yeah. But he's found a home doing these covers and face works and all that other stuff. Now this is Paulo Rivera.
Romita Jr. is not his dad, and he's got to live with that. Maybe, I don't know. He heard that his whole life in the office too. Oh, look at the kids here.
Yeah, they definitely gave him a hard time.
They gave him a hard time,
right? He had to really work his way in.
Yeah, I'm starting to like Will a little bit too, Danielle. You know what I mean? Well, Will's tough. He could take it. And he reads his comics. I always say that, man. You read your comics. It's great.
I do. I'm not. This is Patrick Gleason, by the way. And we got Chasm also came out of this run, right? So.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got some love. Finally. Finally.
Yeah. And will pump you up, right? Sometimes you're pumping that iron, dude.
Yeah, I didn't work out like during the whole week of New York Comic Con and stuff. I did a lot of walking and stuff, but I did my first
there you go.
I did like a lot of weightlifting 2 days ago, and I'm still sore.
Oh yeah,
you
getting
can't
back into it.
Yeah, you can't take long breaks and expect not to be sore. Yeah. That's why I'm keeping my arms like this. I can't.
And plus you were moving too, man. So a lot of your time got taken away there.
Yeah, my body took a beating in the last couple of months.
Hey, Will, did you read Stray Dogs? I hear it's really good, and Random Rips likes it too.
Yeah, Stray Dogs was amazing. That was a really cool series. And I mean, I showed some covers, I think, of that 2 weeks ago, but they did a whole bunch of like horror film covers on that one, and that it's really cool. But yeah, Stray Dogs was a really good read. And it's cool to see how they managed to give all the different types of dogs a personality, right? Like the shepherds were different than the retrievers, who were different than the bulldogs, or the pits, so it's cool.
Farrell's good too.
Yeah, Daniel. Farrell's not bad. Yeah, Farrell's pretty good. And Farrell's pretty much the same creative team. So I gotta catch up on Farrell though. I only read like the first 3 issues, but it's not bad. It's good.
Rips is gonna rip right through him tonight.
There you go. Do it. We have Dr. Doom on the last page, and the reason being is Dr. Doom's going to play a big part.
Oh yeah,
the next Spider-Man.
He has his own Doom Dome,
right?
The Dome of Doom.
There's a lot of things that Doom's going to be up to. And he's gonna the next Spider-Man ASM run, I believe, is going to be titled the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. So
cool.
Basically, Doom's going to send Spider-Man on these quests.
What up, Brent? Thanks for being here, Brent. The Dragon's Lair.
Dragon Lair in the house. Which is gonna cause Spider-Man to die, and then that's the theory, is that Spider-Man's gonna die. But he's going to be wearing this mystical suit that every time he dies is going to bring him back. Yeah. Now it's called the 8 Deaths, so I don't know.
We'll see.
At some point, it's got to stop, right? We got to see how they play it.
I won't be buying it, but I'll be hearing about it.
Right.
Yeah. In Random Rips, you read them like they're made for the trade. Most modern comics are made for trade anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like instantly. It's not a question of if, it's when. You're going to get all the books put into a trade, and a lot of them seem to like almost instantly come out. Once the 5th issue hits, you get a trade, every 5 issues. So like the 10th issue hits, you get a trade. So it's if it's a 12 issue mini, then sometimes they'll break it up to 4 or 6 issues, 3 trades of 4 issues or 2 trades of 6.
Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, definitely sub up. If you probably already subbed up, but sub up to Cuppo because he's taking over this show, and I'm going to be a guest on his show.
So, but more like my co-host when he shows up. Co-host for life.
Yeah. 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 Deuces.
All right. Not yet. We still got 2 more comics. Superman Action Comics. Right. This is 1073. So this guy Monel was I didn't really read it, but from what I understand, he was kind of sent back. He was like a Superman clone, kind of pretended to be Kal-El's brother. Didn't pretend. I think he was randomly. Kind of pretended to be his brother, but so much as I don't think he pretended, is that Monel actually believed it because he also had a good heart. But then it turned out that he was like a alien from another planet who had similar powers when exposed to the sun, but the sun also, I think, poisoned his blood or something like that. So Superman had to send him to the Phantom Zone. It was like the one good guy that Superman's ever sent to the Phantom Zone. Right. So anyway, Superman is now in the Phantom Zone. He's fighting big monsters in here, and he's trying to find out why there's certain things are happening in the Phantom Zone that shouldn't happen. And like there shouldn't be like laser beams and missiles in the Phantom Zone because it's not supposed to be like energy, right?
Right. Yeah.
And there are, and he's trying to figure out why.
It's a cool comic book mystery. That's excellent. That's the kind of writing you want, right? Like you explore aspects of the what if within the established rules, right? Hey, Random Rips, man, thank you so much for subbing up, Will. Hey, Daniel, could you drop Random Rips link down there? Make sure everyone's subbed up to Random. Great channel. And I want to participate on your stuff more too, Random.
Let's get the family atmosphere going. Mark Waid is writing this too, right? So he's pretty.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Pretty good writer, right? And
yeah,
Henry Clayton, I think is the artist. Yeah, Clayton Henry. Sorry, got his name reversed. Yeah, Clayton Henry. So he does a pretty decent job of Superman. Let's see. But yeah, this book, this run has been interesting, if only because we're not often brought into the Phantom Zone, and I'm not sure if all the physics of the Phantom Zone are always explained. But we have Superman trying to, operate in a world where his power, he has these cufflinks, these solar powered or yellow sun cufflinks that are pretty much battery powered, and when it runs out, he loses his power.
Right.
He's that's what he's kind of using right now in the Phantom Zone to keep his ability. But with every action he takes, right, he's draining these batteries.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a countdown until we have a powerless Superman there. In the meantime, we have Super Hyphen Man.
Super Hyphen Man.
And we have he calls himself Superman as well. And
it's great.
Superboy, and they're on a crime caper, right? So Superman goes off into the Phantom Zone. These guys are like, hey, we need to talk to Superman. Let's go find him. They go to the Fortress of Solitude, and the Fortress of Solitude has been wiped clean. Like everything's been stolen.
Yeah.
And then they get transported, as it's happening, to this museum, this intergalactic museum. But there's a funny moment in here where they ask, the Superman, this one, what's your name? And he's like, Superman. And they look at him and they're like, wait, you're not Superman. And then Superboy is like, I told you the hyphen doesn't translate,
That's spoofing on Marvel, because I think Stan Lee did Spider-Man with a hyphen so people wouldn't get confused that it was, with Superman.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
So they do the whole spoof. So that's kind of like a little 3-page interlude in this issue, but it carries on. Like this is issue 3.
Yeah.
Of this arc. So it carries on. So it's been a pretty fun read. If only like to just lose yourself in like one of those classic like comic tales, right?
Yeah.
It's not taking it super seriously, but it also there's peril for the main character, which is Superman here. So funny thing is Superman ends up getting thrown into some abyss, and that kind of sends you back in time. A lot of sci-fi happening here, but he ends up back.
Oh, that's cool.
Spoiler alert.
It should be sci-fi, right? Superman.
Right. It is. It's very, and spoiler here, he ends up back in Krypton or on Krypton. So now he's, we all know Krypton eventually explodes. So now Superman is back.
Wow. Yeah.
And then there is a backup story with Supergirl or Superwoman, and it's here. So
it's Supergirl, right?
Supergirl. Yeah. So
we love her.
Pretty good book, Action Comics, if you're looking for something that kind of takes you back to classic Superman storytelling.
Yeah, excellent, dude. And Wade knows his DC, Mark Wade. Random Rips, thank you so much, man. Thank you, for being here, dude. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah. Awesome, Daniel.
All right. And I'm down to my last comic, but before I do that, let me just make sure that I am subbing up to everybody. So
yeah. Thanks for the likes, you guys.
Here we go. I got Random Rips right now.
Excellent. Yeah,
so
dude.
Awesome.
Unite, right? just a bunch of dudes babbling pretty much about comics, you know.
Right. That's what we do.
Yeah, man.
All right. And last book. This is my last book that I got this week. It was a very short week, honestly. This is what they call the 5th week in a month. So
it's the small week.
Right. It is. So yeah, every 5th week, you get, the indies don't print as many books, and a lot of things to do with shipping, and I don't really know how to explain it all, but yeah, the 5th week you always get fewer books. Plus, it's the Halloween holiday, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but they don't want to compete with all the kids going out trick or treating. So
yeah,
and the same thing happens. Yeah, and the same thing will happen around Thanksgiving. You'll notice a few less books on the shelf, and during Christmas and New Year's as well. You better be.
Daniel's telling you off.
Yeah.
Hey, he says he's gonna start a show in a couple months, so I'd like to see that, Danielle. I think I'm looking forward to that, man.
There we go. Let's go. All right. And we have Spawn. 358. So 357 was a big book only because at New York Comic Con there were a lot of variant covers of that came out. But the story has pretty much been the same. Spawn still doesn't have powers, but he's like a badass ninja. I'm allowed to say ass on this show, right?
It's a family-friendly show, but yeah, dude.
He's a bad butt ninja.
Bad arse.
Yeah. Arse. Yeah, last thing I doubt it, but some kid being like, "Cup of Comics said ass." Get canceled.
I think I swore earlier today on here anyway, so. Right on, Brent. Thank you for subbing him up.
So Rory McConville and Brett Booth are on the creative team, right? And Todd McFarlane is the creative director. Because right now McFarlane's got a lot of things happening, including trying to get that. It's from what I heard at the Comic-Con, is trying to get the Spawn movie off the floor.
Yeah.
So he's becoming more of an ambassador for comics and especially his Spawn comics, and he's kind of pulling off a little bit. I think he still does Gunslinger.
That's good.
But yeah,
let some other guys do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What up, Swag? What's going on, Swag? Thank you. Thanks for being here, my friend. Glad you went to Half Price Books recently. That's a fun place to go, dude.
Oh yeah, Half Price Books. My first time in a half, because I don't think we have any in New York, or at least like around the city. But my first trip to Half Price Books, I was like, "What is this? What are these bins filled with cheap books?"
Yeah.
And then but then you go up to the counter and they have like the more expensive books behind the counter.
So are we gonna go over today because it's the last Aaron show? Are we gonna go? I want to go over a little bit. How much time do you have?
Yeah, let's go over. I'm on my last book, so.
Okay. Cool.
My last book that I bought today, but that doesn't mean I'm out of modern books. I got so many modern books. We can go. If I was ready for it, we could do a 24-hour stream. Now.
We've got Half Price Books in Washington State, you guys, and I hit them up. Some of them think they know what they got, and now they're starting to let it go. I think because comics are starting to cool off.
They are.
It was so hot 3 years ago that they thought they had some gold, but now they're not selling. So now they're going back to the half price, and you can get that copper and bronze sometimes on some stores with their half off the cover price. Isn't that great?
Yeah, I like this.
Boom. Spawn.
Brett Booth.
Yeah, dude.
The first half price comic I bought, I think, was at New York Comic Con. Like, my first book that I bought that was associated with Half Price Comics. Like I had the Half Price Comic sticker on it.
Yeah.
But it was like at somebody's booth in a dollar bin. And I was like, what is this Half Price Comics? I want to know. And then there wasn't one around here. And then I think I had to go to Colorado, I think, to find a Half Price Comics. I was like in Colorado, and that was the first time I stepped into one.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad
Well,
Swag.
half-price books. I keep saying half-price comics, but half-price books. And
I'm glad Swag got to experience half-price books because even though he wasn't on live on the stream, he was in the chat, and I could feel the smile emanating from the chat. You know, he did good apparently.
First trip to half price. My comic bill was $118.
You want me to show something?
Yeah, do it.
So, hey, you guys, I like to support our fellow YouTubers, and we got an artist who I learned about from Easy Comic Reader, right? You know, and the guy is Fabrizio Aiello, right? You got he's doing it alone, DIY, right? Do it yourself, you know. And I just read the first 3 issues of Horace H. Hoover, and he's an occult detective from the 30s, and it's good. It's good stuff, man. It's right up my alley. It's kind of like a lighthearted, you know, but kind of cerebral. You know, it's subtle. It's subtle though. You know, it's but this guy's really cool. Horace H. Hoover is altruistic, trying to beat back the dark forces, you know, and uncover mysteries and stuff like that. And I like it. I like it a lot. I like the art. In Fabricio here has his own YouTube channel. So in every like Sunday, he's just draws, and he draws right, you know, and talks to the chat, and he's super down to earth, man. He's a total bro. So I just want to do a shout out to him, and you know, and let you guys know there's good artists out there doing it themselves. You know, apparently, what's the comic book publisher that still does newsprint? Do you remember the name of them? They still do new. Horace H. Hoover was under that, but now he's not under that publisher anymore, and Fabricio is doing it himself, and it's really good, thick, you know, quality paper too. So
right, nice,
definitely worth it. I love it when guys are just, you know, working, right? They're working,
not cutting corners.
You know, they're doing it. You know, and he's a real illustrator too. Nothing against guys who are using modern technology, you know, to have their stories out there too. You know, do what you got to do, right? Yeah, man. Sub up Fabricio. Thank you, Daniel, for dropping that link. You guys, check him out. Check out his live streams. Down to earth dude, fun guy. You know, we normally shut the this program down after an hour, but I think we're going to stay on for a few more minutes and just talk, right? Well, yeah, we're going to do that. So this is 1981, and it's Marvel premiere
Star-Lord
61. Yep. And I buy lots on eBay, you guys, or I find this stuff on the cheap elsewhere, and I just keep buying it. Even if I get doubles, then I do my $2 claim sale. But I like Tom Sutton as an artist, and Doug Munch or Mensch, however you want to pronounce it. Right? Good old school stuff, man. When I was a kid, this was like this type of storyboarding I'm very familiar with. You know, I love reading it now. I love reading all the text. I feel like I'm reading books, you know. So it's a lot slower read, you know, these older comics. But I don't know, man.
The way newer comics are laid out, much quicker, much easier to read these days.
My brain feels so much better, you know. But I find this stuff on the cheap, and I'm just amazed because I think someday it's going to get popular again. I think the kids, the cool kids, they're going to realize they're distracted all the time by, you know, the electronic screens everywhere, and they're going to want paper. You know, That's what I hope, man. That's my hope. You know.
That's the dream. Live
In
the
the
dream.
meantime, kids, get off my yard, right? Here's a 1981 Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 6. And it's the American Eagle. So I don't know if this is a first appearance for those who love that. You know?
American Eagle.
Claw and Kazar. I like Kazar. I liked when John Byrne did him in the 70s during the Uncanny X-Men and all that. An eagle from America. Pretty dang cool, man. Just love it. Who do we got here? Ron Wilson. Shout out to Metarog. He says Ron Wilson is one of the most underrated artists out there. Really loves him. I don't know if we could show him off a little bit, but I should show you guys the comic that I read yesterday. I mentioned Doom 2099. This is pretty good, right? Looks great. Yeah, I'll do that. And then if you want to show what you're up to, what you've been reading, we'll do that, Will.
All right.
You know? But I'll show you the Doom. Yeah, because I was really impressed by this artist that I didn't even really know about. Now, I do like collecting 90s comics that are newsy. They're true newsies. So this character, Necrotech Rising, what a cool concept that's been done a lot. You know, what if these maleficent beings can come through technology, right? Look at this. Look at this pencil work, though.
Yeah. And
this guy, he's a power seeker, hungry for power. So he wants the arcane secrets, and of course, he gets consumed by one of these maleficent spirits, that was cast away by the Vishanti itself, right? That is associated with Doctor Strange, right? So check this out, man. I'll show you the artist's name later, but this is really good work. This is like, as Metarog would say, a true draftsman, right? Back in the day, they're at their desk and they're scribbling, and they're trying to make it work, But I didn't know who the artist. The artist didn't ring a bell, but it's called Alcatina is the artist. It's normally Broderick, which I like too. I love this weird psychedelic technology, meets, magic, dark magic and stuff. I love this stuff. So, and this series is pretty good. My only criticism is it sometimes veers off with the side characters, I don't really care about. And then when it gets back to the Doom story, that's where the stuff's at. And I also hear that Warren Ellis takes over this series, and it's really good. And I only have a few of the Warren Ellis issues, but I wanted to share that, even though I've been recovering from a cold, and once in a while I get all this mucus. So I hope that wasn't too disturbing for you guys to listen to. You know what I mean? Hey, Joe McPhee's here, my guy. Thank you so much. Hey, so it was Doom 2099. So I know Joe from the desk of a small press publisher, he kept with comics. He kept with him. I jumped out, come back in, jump out. But you strike me as a guy who just kept reading him, And he's got great stories about Chris Claremont and being in line. Everyone wants their Uncanny X-Men signed. And he pulls out this old, obscure, well, it wasn't old at the time, but it was obscure from an obscure publisher. I forgot what it was, man. Defiant is a Jim Shooter publisher. I guess Chris Claremont did like 2 issues of it. And I'm telling your story here, Joe. I shouldn't be doing that. I should let you tell your story. But Chris Claremont read that book, took the time. Oh, let me see that, because he went up to get it signed. And he started reading it. And there's this whole long line of people waiting for their stuff to be signed. And Joe handed him this obscure comic. And Chris Claremont started reading his own work right in front of everybody, man. That's a great story, man. You know, I stole your story, you know? So what do we got here? Daniel's saying the medium will never die, but sadly, we're going to have to keep doing things like this. Yeah, because slowly but surely, if we're really showing that these comics on the cheap, the work inside, the art's really good, people are going to be opening up the comics more in collecting stuff, you know? They're going to collect the good artwork, and they're going to have, like we have, like boxes and boxes of comics where you pull out the art's incredible, even if it's obscure, right? Will?
Yeah, I mean, yes, but yeah, it is up to us as collectors and readers to introduce this medium to a younger crowd that isn't something there that is native to them, right? To us, reading a book was native, you know, going to the library to get a book. Now they go to the library to get a video game or a movie, or, you know, it's a little bit different time. So,
but Daniel, could you please put from the desk of a small press publisher, put that link down? Great channel. Hopefully you guys will sub each other up. And Joe, we also dropped links earlier in the show. If you want to check out the chat, Will's going to take over this show on Wednesday, but he's going to have guests on there too. And I really hope to see you guys on the show on Wednesday, where we talk about the new comics plus old comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So please sub up Will, you know?
Yeah, now Aaron will definitely be back. So this is not the end.
Thank you, Swag. You're gonna love Joe. Joe's great. Joe's great. It's not overhype. Sticking with the people I relate to, you know. So did you want to share something, Will?
Sure. So as like you brought up earlier, I had moved, and I'm still randomly going through boxes, but I happened to find a box of signed comics. These are not my best signed comics, but there's some decent signatures in here, and there's one really cool one at the end. So I'll show off some of my signed comics. A lot of them are modern. This is actually a pretty cool cover. This is the artist Ben Templesmith.
Oh yeah,
there's a signature there.
Cool.
Modir, Vikings. So that's a pretty cool book. Here's one that was.
Thanks, Daniel.
This is Aftershock exclusive from. I think this was from C2E2, which is a Chicago Comic Con. But this is Maniac of New York, The Bronx is Burning, and this is signed by the artist Andrea Muti, who at the con, I was talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, you want to see something really cool?" And I was like, "Sure." And he pulls out like this, like cardboard box, and he's like, opens it, and there is the Maniac of New York like action figure in there, and he's like, "Yeah, this is a prototype." And he's like, "Yeah, this is a prototype. There's one. This is one of two. There's one from the toy creators, and there's one that they gave me." And he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "They're working on this action figure." Now that was a couple of years ago. It never came out, I'm assuming, but there was a Maniac of New York action figure in the works at one point.
Yeah, I remember that. I do. So, thanks, Random, for subbing them up. Sub each other up, you guys. It's good stuff.
This is Year of the Villain.
I remember that. 25 center.
Yeah, you got a Scott Snyder and a Glapian signature on there. So, and it kind of it somehow they signed it so that it looks like it's almost part of the artwork. So you have all these lines and then you have signatures in here. So
yeah,
that was interesting. This was so there's a writer, Matthew Rosenberg, and he was on Twitter and he was doing he was promoting his new book. And I shouted him out and I was like, yeah, Matthew Rosenberg, excellent writer. I was like, check his stuff out. And so I guess he saw that, and I get a DM or whatever. I think it was on Twitter, saying, hey, what's your address? Oh, and I was like, who is this? Like, why do you want to know where I live? So I thought it was like a
scammer.
Scam. I did some research and found out the person who sent me the message was actually Matthew Rosenberg. So I then sent him a message back saying, hey, if you want to send something, I don't even think I gave him my real address. I gave him
the Silver Coin a different writer each issue of the same artist or something like that? Like they did it backwards or something like that?
They rotated. It was like an anthology, so it could change. But I think Tynan worked on it. Snyder probably worked on it. Chip Zdarsky did some. And yeah, the artists and the writers kind of mixed and mingled.
Yeah.
But yeah, to make a long story short, like eventually I give him my address or an address, and then months go by and I was like, all right, well, I guess. And then it was like 4 months go by and he's like, hey man, thanks for sending me your address. I'm going to send you some stuff. Thanks for, supporting me. And then he sent me some like signed books. So cool. Yeah, he sent me Silver Coin.
So he was a dude. He was nice,
Yeah, he was a cool guy. So I actually got a lot of Matthew Rosenberg stuff signed. I don't know why, but I do.
Well, if you like somebody, like he treats people good.
Yeah. DC versus Vampires #3.
I heard that actually rocked.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it too.
Yeah. I remember the reviews, but I still didn't jump in.
Yeah. Here's Astonishing X-Men #13 with a Midtown Comics certificate of authenticity from Matthew Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really jumped in, but I do have the DC app, so I'm probably going to check it out.
No, I read Deceased. I did not read the DC versus Vampire.
No, I read Deceased, and Deceased
was rocking.
Yeah, Deceased is
I got all of that.
Yeah, Deceased, and there's like a couple of different volumes of it, right?
Yeah.
So the first one like sets it all up.
There's like 4 volumes or something like that.
Yeah. There's like one where it's just a bunch of villains like hold up and
yeah, I got it all.
And then they're trying to figure out how to
artist. I forgot what the artist was. I really liked the art. It was a good team. Like Tom Taylor and that artist there.
Yeah.
I forget.
Drawing a blank on the artist.
Yeah.
But Tom Taylor did a
excellent work.
Yeah, it was a real good book. This is Canto. This is it's got a little.
I remember Canto. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a good.
Got a lot of heart.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. It was a good book. This is a book that you can probably read with your kids. So if you have younger kids, I mean, it does touch a little bit on mortality, but not in a grotesque or like damaging way. But I think that's like the worst part of it. But this character just refuses to give up, and he's always there for his friends and do anything to help somebody. It's a really good book.
Oh, cool, Swag! You read that? That's great. Yeah, that's been around for a few years now.
He's a Oblivion song signed.
I read the freaking first 20 issues of Oblivion Song, and it was good, but it just I didn't know what was going on really. Like why? Did you like it?
Yeah, I don't even know if I made it as far as the 20 issues. I read a couple of issues and then I kind of fell off because I think it was the same thing. It was like, where are we? What's the purpose of this?
Now, is it getting optioned?
That was a couple of years ago that it was supposed to be. It got optioned. It is optioned. And the book since then the book has fluctuated anywhere between $5 and like $20. But
yeah, I know Swag's a big Walking Dead fan.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I still have to finish the last like 4 episodes of The Walking Dead, but I do plan on, yeah.
Oh, if they do that right, which shouldn't be that hard to do, those books are going to go up, man, because they're already kind of hot. The earlier Canto books.
He just has to,
Hey, Ron, what's up, man?
Oh, there we go. Trevor.
Yeah, Harrison, right? Trevor
yeah.
Harrison. He's an awesome dude, huh? I freaking loved that. I thought it was a perfect pairing there with Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor. It's a finish. Okay, I will definitely finish it. And getting back to Canto, yeah, that character pretty much writes itself. So, just don't mess it up, Will Smith.
Well, Canto, I could see would be perfect animated.
This is just a blank cover. One day I plan on getting something sketched on it, but it's got a Scott Snyder signature on it. Here's a cool book because we were talking about Titans and Marv Wolfman. This was a variant like foil copy that I got for free of DC's Titans. Back when DC used to actually give away free stuff at conventions.
Yeah,
I got it signed by Marv Wolfman.
Nice. I just showed a Marv Wolfman signature, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah. So
thanks, you go. Rod. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Got a Brian Michael Bendis signature.
Hated that.
We're gonna hide that one.
I hated Bendis at that point. I think. I met him actually, nice guy, but I just didn't like him.
Right.
Time.
Here's DK3, the Master Race.
Looking tight, looking good.
Yeah, we got
Those
Andy Cooper.
Yeah,
Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, Azzarello, and I guess Brad Anderson wasn't there, but he's got to get on that book at some point. So this is fun. This was a giveaway, right? So Snyder and Capullo. Yeah, this was a couple years ago at New York Comic Con.
Well, they did that hit series Batman there, right? And this came out. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was interesting. But they said something like, they were like, "Hey, the first 20 people to come to our autograph line get a free book." And we were like, "Oh yeah, okay, let's go get the free, Last Night on Earth book." And then it was the Spanish version, which they did, which is, they didn't advertise it. So you open it and you're ready to read it and you sit down and you're like, yeah, because it's all in Spanish. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it ended up being the Mexican version.
Okay.
But it was a cool cover and really nice that they gave it out for free.
Oh, yeah, dude. Free's nice.
Yeah. A lot of people were just very confused when they opened it and they're like,
well, my brother lives in Greece now and he sent me a trade, a Spidey trade, right? And it's all in Greek. Right? Like, I kind of knew the story anyway, but it's still a nice novelty, but you're from Ancestry's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't a big shock for me, but I was there.
You could read it, in other words, right? I'm assuming that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm better at and I'm actually better at reading than I am at hearing, because Spanish is usually spoken faster or quicker in some countries.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico not so much, but if you go to like South America, they're like, and, and it's like I'm trying to pick up the words, and by the time I hear your third word, your eighth or ninth word, and I'm just like, all right, I think I know.
I didn't know that. Yeah, so cool.
It's a tempo thing. What you grew up with. This is Sean Murphy.
But Batman. You can read it very well.
Yeah. If it's right in front of me, I can read it like a comic.
Yeah. Cool.
And then this is the last one I got. This is probably my one of my better autographs. This is a 12 center Action Comics.
Nice.
This is one of the first Neil Adams covers. It might actually be the first Neil Adams Superman cover. And,
wow. They brought that's great, man.
And I got this at Midtown Comics, but like the downtown store location. I didn't get this there. I had it. It belonged in my I had got this offline. Yeah, I had got this offline off some claim sale. I bought this cover. Brought it to Midtown Comics where Neil Adams was signing.
Wow.
And when I pulled the book out, one of the representatives of Midtown Comics goes, "Wow!" And he's like, "Can I take a picture of that?" And I was like, "Sure." And so they took a picture of it. Then it got signed, and then they had me pose with Neil Adams, and they took another picture, and then they posted that to their socials.
Excellent.
So yeah, it ended up as a story. So stories disappeared, but for a little while, I was on the Midtown Comics page.
That's great, dude.
Signing. Yeah,
great story. Great memory for you too.
Yeah, and he was a great guy. So
you live right there, right? Midtown, by Midtown.
I'm
or something. I don't know.
I'm closer. Yeah, I used to live pretty close. For me to get there now would probably be about an hour and a half. But I used to work like 15-minute walk from Midtown Comics. So
yeah.
Now not so much, but I still, when I travel to the city, I still manage to stop at Midtown Comics. But yeah, I had a really cool interaction with Neil Adams. We spoke for a little bit. I met him a lot. Well, I didn't meet him. I saw him a lot as a kid going to like conventions and stuff. But for me, he was always inaccessible because he would charge upwards of $50 to $100 for a signature. A piece of artwork, like a card, a little card was like $600-700. So none of that was ever really attainable. And then he was at Midtown Comics, and that was something that was more attainable at the time for me to meet him. So I met him there, and he was a great guy. And I always kind of, sometimes when somebody charges a little too much for you to meet him, you're like, I don't know if I like that guy. And then I met him, and I actually got to talk to him, and I understood what he was getting at and why he charged so much. He's like, you set your value. So if you set your value at like $5,
plus people go and they get stuff signed and then they flip it.
Right. So
that's why I don't give artists a hard time anymore when they do that, or writers.
Right. Like, so now everybody's like Chris Claremont used to charge $5 for a signature, which is fine. He's trying to make a buck, which I thought also that's affordable, $5. But now that everybody's charging, 5, 10, 15, he's also raised his prices. I think now he's like $10 for a signature, but nice. Because everybody's trying to make a buck. Yeah. They're also getting in there.
Matthew, what up, Matthew? He had his very first claim sale yesterday, and that was awesome.
What's up,
Matthew? Bro? This is my last time being the host and the controller of this show. We're going to turn it over to Will. Capo Comics,
Ooh. I've been passed the torch. I'm very appreciative of the
Oh yeah, dude. You were my first YT friend, actually. Will's the first guy I was commenting in his comment section a couple years back,
Conversely, Aaron was one of the first guys who was commenting in my comment section.
Yeah, I was the first guy. Yeah, so it was cool.
It kind of worked out both ways. Yeah. But yeah, those are some of my signed comics.
Excellent, dude. Cool.
Yeah, this is a random Energon verse cover I bought. It's a connecting cover, so I only got
Energon,
half of it. Yeah, it's a good book. This is X-Men 97, based on the animation.
Yeah. We're gonna keep this going for another half hour, I think.
There we go. Yeah, let's do it. This is Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the free preview, and for some reason, this book is worth like $10. So I put the free preview in a bag and board.
Well, hey, might as well. Right? I think I got the gods, the GOD, the Hickman thing. Mm-hmm. The preview I got from my dealer, Sean. Man, I guess it's worth something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's first weird. Appearance, right?
They're like, they call them first appearances, and it's like it's a preview magazine. Of course, there's going to be a first appearance in there. But it's like Spawn's first appearance is actually from Malibu.
Good.
Malibu Comics or whatever it is. It's like a preview.
Rip's got God Loves Man Kills signed twice. That is great, man. And he signed it again. That's a memory. That's a memory that's never, gonna go away. That's a great memory. You guys had a good laugh on that one,
And at least he knew you didn't. You weren't, a flipper.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's great, man. We have a legion of Chris Claremont appreciation now because I am slowly going through. I'm in the Byrne era now. I'm reading the classic X-Men, and I love it. And I just can't wait till I get to the Paul Smith and just that slower Byrne, but then all of a sudden, boom, 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 character-driven stories. Subplots that go nowhere. All that stuff, dude. Chris Claremont was great, right?
Yeah. He's and he's really like I've seen him at a few cons, and his lines are usually pretty long, but he also takes the time to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But he's like an intellectual conversationalist, so he really has to like hit the notes, which I guess a writer wants to do when they tell their stories, is hit every note, right? But he definitely does that same thing when he talks to somebody. I think he feels like he has to have, hit all the notes, have the proper setup, and then deliver the ending before he lets you go.
Yeah.
So, every time somebody like actually has something, smart or intelligent to say to him, is like, well, we're going to be here for another 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. And that's cool, man. Let them do that. Let them do that. Like that's what's important, and I dropped off after Paul Smith a little bit, maybe after 200. No, I didn't get into the 90s. That's what happened. But now I want to read it all. Now I want to keep going. See how different it is. The Jim Lee era and all that stuff. It's going to take me a while because I'm a slow reader. You know what I mean?
Right. There's so much good stuff that came out of there.
But Chris Claremont, you always hear what a great guy he is.
Yeah. He's a random Conan book for anybody who likes Conan.
It's shiny.
It is very shiny. I'm going
to show a couple random stuff too now.
And here's a Doom book in case anybody wants to see Doom.
Yeah, I want to see Doom.
This is from the Doom series that came out recently, like the one shot. But this is the Marvel Masterpieces cover.
Heck yeah, dude.
I think this is Joe Jusko who did this one. Or nope, these are the Hillebrands. Greg and Tim Hillebrand.
I need to read the original Emperor Doom. I still haven't done that. Is that something? I want to read the other one too. Torment. What is it? Something in Torment. Triumph and Torment.
And then there was also the Marvel Secret Wars where he becomes the God Doom.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I remember that.
This is actually, I didn't realize this. This is Conan the Barbarian Local Comic Shop Day. Foil by Titan, issue number 5. Mike Deodato. This is a Mike Deodato cover. Cool.
Awesome.
I've got so many random books. I'm like, what is this?
The Marvel Masterpieces.
I've started labeling the this guy.
It was, I actually ordered that and it came to me, the Hickman in the green, that one shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone likes it, right?
Yeah, you got it. It was like, I don't know, a couple of months ago, it was like a $50 book. I think the price has dropped on it.
I'm so glad people don't buy it when it's hyped, or some people do, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a market. But yeah, I think now it's down to like $20, $25, but it's still a book that's holding value, and not really sure why.
Deodato's a great artist too, random for sure. Okay, cool. That I got to read it then. Everyone's saying it was a great book. Did I get a bad review, or did I watch a bad review of it or something? Or no, you know what it was?
A good book.
Will remembers. I just suddenly stopped reading new comics. I was like, I'm done.
That's right.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it was during. Well, it's during your phase now where you're striking against.
Of course, good stuff's coming out. All right, I'm gonna do a couple here. We're gonna do 1982. All right. What do you think of this? 1982. Oops.
Let's go.
111. Master of Kung Fu.
Nice.
Gene Day, man, that's a great artist in this series. When I was a kid, I read a few of these, but God, I love Gene Day. And I think Gene Colan does some of these issues too. Of course, Mike Zeck does. Look at that. We're talking draftsman, right? Someone who's just look at the, and you don't even know what it looked like when he was doing the pencils. The inks came in, right? sometimes the inks go right over, some detail. But I guess Gene Day is known for that. But I like this cover too, man. Shang-Chi, he took care of business, didn't he? So yeah, I'm putting together my Master of Kung Fu. You guys doing it? Here's another one.
Kung Fu.
I'm just collecting it, and I'm going to read it from the beginning, like a dork.
Nice.
1983, 124. I can't wait to get those. There's some Zek covers I don't have of Master of Kung Fu that I'm looking forward to. And I'm not familiar with William Johnson as an artist, but so this is during the end of this run. But man, nothing like nothing. Now that's not moldy. The nice and clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is my era, dude. 60-cent comics. Is this a 60 center? Yep. 60 cent. That's when I was a kid, and I think there was a lot of cool, covers and just a lot of cool stuff going on between 1980 and 1983. But now I also love the 70s. I just love. I didn't realize how good the 70s were with Jim Starlin and all that stuff.
Some good books.
Yeah, dude. We'll do another DC Comics Presents, right? This is probably 1980. Or is it 7? Yep, 1981. DC Comics Presents.
Shazam.
33. This was always an event, right? When these two threw down.
Mm-hmm.
Look in the sky. It's both of them. That reminds me of like how Alex Ross would paint, right? Just the realism,
Yeah. Shadows. And yeah, it's good stuff.
You gotta love it, man. You guys love it? I love it.
Shazam, also known as Captain Marvel.
I sometimes think about getting the omnibus, as Ron is saying here. I think with modern comics, I do want to get trades more. It's just a matter of space and convenience. When there's good modern runs, I want to get the trades, I think. But is this who is this here? Roy? No. Rich Butler and Dick Giordano does the inks. Mesoplex, right? Or whatever, however you pronounce it. But I'm getting into the older Superman comics from just DC in general. I think I'm interested in the 70s when they got, like I said, more suspenseful, and they were bringing in the Neil Adams and stuff like that. They weren't so archy. And I know there's a lot of fans out there that love the early golden age of DC and the Archie and all that. But I'm more interested in that 70s all the way up to Crisis on Infinite Earths, I think. That's the era of DC I'm really going to explore, But here we have another Presents. This is 1980, I bet.
And the green.
Just a cool cover.
I really like those. Yeah. The DC Comics Presents.
Yeah.
They were really cool books. Really good. The
The
covers were really good.
Yeah, we got Don Newton on the pencils here. I just have a real appreciation for Superman in the 70s and 80s. I'm starting to get congested again.
Oh.
It's weird. I'm not sick anymore. It's taken a while to clear out. It's like my body's still fighting something.
Just getting rid of the remnants.
I have a chaotic comic book area underneath my desk and over here. And, I just like to pull like random stuff and then I put it into my PC, or I determine if it's a double, something like that. Will.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should like this one, right? Even though it's all torn and whatnot, but it's 1978, and it's Marvel Team Up 74. It's a reader beater, you guys.
Not ready for primetime play.
No, it's John Belushi. We got a little chunk missing right here.
So it's like a play on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi. I love when they throw Spidey in with the comedy teams, right? So yeah, it's all so you hold on to your beaters, and if something comes to you and it's a better grade, then you switch it out.
Yeah. Like I've heard before, no grade is any grade is better than no grade.
Yeah, low grade is better than no grade. That's how the saying goes.
There you go.
But man, I collect my Marvel Team Up, and I'm making some headway. You can get Marvel Team Up and Marvel Tales. Check it out, dude. Saturday Night Live, dude. Awesome, right? Do we have Stan the Man somewhere in there?
Who's on?
Sometimes they do that,
Yeah.
Get little cameos of peeps. Pretty cool, though, huh? Yeah. You gotta love it, dude.
That's pretty
Live from New York. It's Saturday night, dude. Gotta love that stuff. So what else randomly what else do I got here? Oh, I got I collect Daredevil. I think Daredevil is one of the few characters that was written consistently. Of course you got your duds here and there.
Yeah. That
he's right under the radar, no pun intended, but he's right under the radar, as far as popularity. And so they just kind of left him alone, or sometimes he would turn into out and out evil. He would just get possessed or something, like Shadowlands or something like that.
Right.
And it was cool. You could do that with Daredevil. The dude's dressed up as the devil too, and he's Catholic. It's just so freaking weird.
Right. That's pretty cool. Is that Joe Kelly on that? The new Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So he's back.
I'm rereading the point from when Frank Miller starts drawing Daredevil. So I'm reading that, and I'm just going to keep going. I love the earlier stuff. The Gene Colan are all. I think it's a remarkable run of comics that you can get on the cheap, right? So yeah, even the '90s stuff I'll pick up, you guys. So do you want to show something, Will? Or
sure.
Okay.
I got some stuff. So this was kind of the answer, right, to Alex Ross's Marvels. This is Ruins.
It looks like Marvels.
Right? And this
it looks exactly like that.
Yeah, this is Warren Ellis and Cliff and Therese Nielsen.
Who's the publisher of that?
This is Marvel.
Okay, I was going to say, if it wasn't Marvel, couldn't they get sued for that?
But it's got an alternate. It's like Marvel alternate something. Marvel Alterniverse. That's what it is. So this was only 2 issues. Ruin issues 1 and 2. But yeah, it's so right. Marvel kind of was like the ground view of the people, but like how it was beautified. And then Warren Ellis came around and like showed the destruction and stuff. After a superhero fight, what actually, what goes on, what's the dirty side of all the stuff happening. So And this was a 50. I found this in a 50-cent bin. I think on eBay. You know,
I have both the Alex Ross Marvels in the original format, like that, the first printing, and the second printing too.
nice.
Yeah, that looks. Hey, hold that one up again. Yeah, dude, digging it.
Yeah, so it's just a really dark, telling.
So Random Rips show is Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it includes the clips of SNL cast throughout the years. So saying it's Saturday night. So that was a little synchronicity there. I showed the Saturday Night Live issue of Marvel Team Up. Very cool, dude. Yeah, I'll try catching it sometime. Rips for real.
At 8. All right, Eastern. God found dead in space, and that's Galactus floating there.
Well, primitives would worship Galactus as a god, for real. They saw something like that coming.
And then
Kirby is influenced by ancient astronaut theories. You guys know that, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the Punisher logo right there.
Yeah, dude.
So this is an interesting book.
So Ruins is incredibly good. That's what Ron's saying here. Ron Foss.
Yeah. And I think it's only 2 issues, so it's a relatively quick read.
Awesome.
Yeah. Here's some Jerry Ordway. The Adventures of Superman, back from the dead. Yeah. The Man of Steel fights for his life.
Adventures of Superman went on for so long, and it's too bad I think they tried bringing it back, but it's gone now.
It just, never. I don't think it ever quite gained traction again.
I don't even know if some people collect it, but they collect more action than the Superman, right? The title.
Yeah, action. There was, at one point there had to be like 4. Like Superman was like the Batman of the 90s, right? When they killed him and then brought him back, they just had so many Superman books. So, life after death.
So we have a different theme each week and share collectibles from all corners of fandom. Basically, what everyone does, right? Well, Rips, it's really cool. It's fun to stream, right? That's what this is about. It's a cool way to interact.
What's cool about this issue is there's like some afterlife or flashback scenes, I guess, which the art is colored like so. And then when you get back to the real world, it's, the coloring changes. It's a little different. So that was the interesting thing about this issue.
They printed a lot of that stuff. You could get it on the cheap, man. Superman. Everyone's got this die cut, for instance.
Yeah. They printed millions. Like these books have some like, first appearances and stuff like that. But there's so many issues out there that I've looked in 50-cent bins and I'll find them all the time.
Yeah.
And even when I do see them, a lot of times I'll end up grabbing them anyway. So This is the first appearance of what was it? Metallo? Not Metallo. Whatever this Superman was. I think it was Metallo Superman or whatever. I don't know. Somebody
as Superman kind of
right.
Type.
So
pretty cool.
Yeah, and then this very much has that 90s style of art, right? Oversized heads and large glasses, and everybody's got a jetpack or pouch.
Oh yeah. Some early 90s. Well, actually, even stereotype, but because some 90s I'm finding is actually very enjoyable.
Right. Yeah, all the 90s weren't horrible because you do have a lot of artists, right? It was very artist-centric. So one thing the 90s did bring was it kind of flipped the industry from the writer being the most prominent part of the comic to the artist. The artist finally got recognition for what they contributed.
Yeah.
to the comics. So that was a big thing, and a lot of the 90s artists, are for all intents and purpose, big shots now, right? Like
Yeah,
Jim Lee is helping to run DC, and
sure.
Todd McFarlane is head of Image, right?
Yeah.
And somehow Rob Liefeld still sells lots of comics. So
It was the age of artists who think they could write, or it was just too much posing and splash pages, just posing more, and one punch, splash. But there was other stuff going on at the time that was good. It's just that I got out of Spider-Man during McFarlane. I just didn't like it at the time, but now I think it's good, of course,
right. Well, it was when McFarlane took over Spider-Man, right? That it was just very different. I don't think people were used
the Spider-Man, the adjective list I really liked when it came out. I didn't like him during, I don't know if it was during the Amazing Spider-Man. I didn't care for the backgrounds, or I just didn't care for how it was done. But now I think it's great, of course. But
yeah, it was definitely a different time. Here's an artist who a lot of people love from the 90s, but I definitely passed away, I believe cancer, but Michael Turner.
Oh yeah,
this is Phantom, Michael Turner's Phantom from Aspen Comics.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me about Michael Turner is occasionally, like, apparently he had a really deep library of art, because on occasion Michael Turner covers still pop up. Like, I've even seen them. I've seen Michael Turner covers on like Marvel books.
Yeah.
So apparently there's somebody out there with a very large library of Michael Turner books. So here's I'll show a couple more books.
Cool.
Modern 50 centers. I'm not going to show all these, but
okay.
These are some 50-cent books I picked up. So
yeah, we're gonna shut it down soon, I think. But yeah, it's great. Good times.
Yeah, here's a couple of cool books in here. All right. Let's do this one too. Oh, that one's pretty cool. Let's do that one. All right. Let me put these back. All right. So Marvel at one point did some reprints and redid some Timely books, and so we have Miss America, Timely. Comics number one. Yeah, they tried to. Marvel did like I guess a 70-year thing, and they tried to like reprint some Timely books, and to some success, but not a lot.
Right.
Here is Suicide Squad number one, and we were talking about Jim Lee. This is a Jim Lee cover.
Yeah, he was really back in that rebirth era, which a lot of it was good. They tried bringing it back, DC back to where it was from 52.
From the and this is Amanda Connor. She's pretty well known for doing Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
This is a Philip Tan cover. These are 50 centers, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to catch up on the Suicide Squad. It's going to be from the 50-cent bin.
Yeah.
Here, I'm not sure who did this cover. Oh, this is Jim Lee. This is another Jim Lee cover.
Cool.
Suicide Squad number 5. So at this point, not only was Jim Lee, pretty much the CEO of DC, but he was still working. He was still doing.
He was doing covers. Yeah.
Yeah. Another Suicide Squad book.
Well, cool.
And then what do we got? This is a one-shot Battle for the Cow, the Underground, little Batman book. Some classic villains there.
Yeah.
Here is a Rob Liefeld. Speaking of Robert Liefeld, this is Robert Kirkman and Rob Liefeld on a book called Infinite.
Infinite.
Right? They got together to do a book. So we'll skip that one in case anybody. It's just Hyperion and Imperial Guard. It's when Marvel did a bunch of mix-ups.
Yeah.
Here's another Robert Kirkman book I found. This is called Stellar. And this is Top Cow, I believe. Yep, Top Cow. Image Comics. So there's a lot of books out there that these famous guys, you don't know. Just don't know. This is 1985. This is Mark Miller and not the Tommy Lee, but Tommy Lee Edwards. Just a cool cover. You got MODOK here, and you got this little kid hiding from what looks like Fing Fan Foom, MODOK, and Dr. Doom. I would also be cowering if those guys were
cool cast of characters.
Right. Just a cool Agents of
series. We get Daniel's stamp of approval there.
And that's I think I can end on that.
Cool. I'll just show one comic, unless you want to show another one.
Well, hold on. With coming, I have This Is What Democracy Looks Like, a graphic guide to governance. So that's a little card. That was I believe that was available for free comic book day. So they printed out a book on democracy for the kids.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's Daniel, yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, cool, you guys. What are we showing now?
Who doesn't like food color? All right, and it's all you.
All right, so I just like to show these random books from the 70s and 80s, and this one I can't. Okay, it's 1976, and it's Super Teen Family. Giant size number 4. I love the purple inks on this. But yeah. Very cool, dude. Tries to forestall the revenge of Solomon Grundy.
Born on a Monday.
Yeah, dude, the menace of the Moon Man. That's just cool. You know?
Man.
We got something similar now. Well, Justice Society of America. We got a lot of YT friends who just can't get enough of the society. But yeah, pretty cool. I mean, these are reprints too, just like reprinting earlier works, you know. But yeah, you guys, this is the show. This was the show today. You know, hope you enjoyed it. I will no longer be hosting this show, but Will's going to be taking over. We talked about this about a month ago or so. I'm no longer going to be doing the simultaneous streaming, not at $45 a month. I don't think so.
No.
You know? And so the big show Thursday, this one, and I would do simultaneous streaming. It was a lot of fun, but I'm out now, you know.
Cut it out.
Yeah, dude. So make sure you're subbed up to Will. And yeah, you guys, we're gonna do this again. Hopefully you'll have other guests too on your new comic day. Why? You know, that's when I was jaded, right? A couple months ago, I started getting jaded on the new comics, you guys. But now I'm starting to loosen. When you take a break from it, you're not so intense about it, you know?
Right. Also, when I just show off all the awesome new comics, you're like, oh man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was good that Will he reads his comics as they come out, the new ones. And so it was good. It was a good contrast. It's still a good contrast with me. Like, I don't care about new comics right now, you know, yet I've read them for the last 18 years, you know? So anyway, that's the show, you guys.
That's the show.
Hope Will addressed any questions why there is a new comic book day. And that's it. Happy Halloween to you guys. You know, we've got. I could keep showing comics like this Thor.
Nice. It's a nice
368. You know, just random stuff that comes to me. But I think we're gonna just call it. You know,
is that a Walt Simonson cover?
I don't know. We're gonna look at it.
Love Walt.
It's 1986, so it might be a no on that.
Yeah. Let's see.
The Fate of Balder. So yeah, he's writing it. Well, no, Sal Buscema's inking. That's why it kind of threw me off. That's
okay. Nice.
Yeah, dude. We'll leave you with this picture, you guys.
There you go.
I like to show the comics before they go into my PC. That's all. All right, you guys. Good night, everyone. Hopefully you follow Will. Couple comics. He's got a great show. Why don't you tell him about your other show too? On Mondays.
So Mondays we do Monday Night Raw books. Usually I'm showing Raw books on that day. So
giveaways.
I do giveaways. So I do giveaways. I give away ducks for 4 weeks, and then on the 5th week we draw for a prize pack, and it's usually about 5 to 6 random comics I send you. Sometimes I throw in some other giveaways, keychains, posters, but you always get comics with it. So
So what else do you do on YouTube? A lot, man. You drop videos.
I do. I just did the preview video. I usually drop that Tuesday to preview all the comics coming out on Wednesday. So we go through Marvel, DC, Titan Comics, Image Comics, Boom, Dark Horse, any comic, Mad Cave. We throw in some FOC in there. I even list like 3 books that could be spec worthy. I spotlight 3 books that are just cool books. They don't have to have any value or worth. It could be a cool cover or a cool premise. We do the FOC, so you can order those books for the following week, and then I do all the books that come out on New Comic Book Day on Wednesday. So that video usually drops on Tuesday. On Monday, we do Monday Night Raw books with the giveaways and opening of packages and just hanging out. If it's Monday Night Football, you might even catch me giving you a little play-by-play because I got the football on the background. And then I've been getting back to doing my New Comic Book Day haul and review where I show all the books. If you're watching the Wednesday show, you're probably going to see all the books, but I read the books and I talk about them on the New Comic Book Day haul and review show. So, some books I'll talk about more than others. I try not to give away too many spoilers, but I will say, this book's cool, pick it up, or this book is hot doo-doo water. And, and don't pick it up. And that's it. I mean, I do a show with you, right?
We also do Thursdays, although I'm taking tomorrow off. Halloween, I'm taking off. And I think Rob's going to do a show. I know Joe D. McPhee has his Thursday show. Shout out to him. And but I normally do a Thursday show, but I'm taking Halloween off. And it's called Chaotic Comic Book Cover Displays and More with Friends. So it's the longest name on YouTube. And, I hope to see you guys Thursdays. It's a big blast. A week from tomorrow. We just normally have at least 4 people on there, and or more sometimes. It's just a lot of fun.
It's a good time.
And that's it, you guys. I'm taking a break from other stuff, but I do a personal. I created my own world, and I drop little videos about it, and via song I do that as well. So it's like alt rock mostly, weird stuff. But
funny thing is, I think I told you this a couple months ago. I looked you up using Google, and it said songwriter.
Yeah. But so I goof around with that, Every song is coming from a different character perspective, so they all link up together. So I love that.
That's pretty cool.
It's a big task, but it's fun,
Yeah.
And that's it, you guys. That's all we got for you. So
that's all, folks.
This is what we do. We say deuces. See you on the next one.